Everything in progress.
Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took L's to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy. Yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took L's to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy. Yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
Oh my
Boom, 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 boom. Do you remember like the clip? I don't remember what coach it was, but it's like the coach and he's like, and his gut keeps like jumping up. It's like a Browns coach or something like that. And it was like he looks like a walrus, and it was like he talks and he's like, and it's like every time he does
Oh,
that,
yeah. I just kept thinking about the dude that's standing next to the guy who's making the food and he's dancing and his belly's just going.
I know. Welcome to part 2. For everybody that stuck around for Insomnia Hour, we are moving into Popcorn Papi. Don't stop, pop that. You know, we got a couple movies. I think we got about 4 of them on the docket. We got 3. We have 3 movies on the docket. One of them we both actually saw. I know it's a bit of a retread.
Look who's doing their homework.
It's about time. It's late. Like, you're not going to get full credit. But
My
it's like, you know.
My dog ate it. I turned it in.
How'd your dog eat it, but you stirred it in?
I did a new one.
Oh, you had a new paper?
Yeah, from the old one.
Yeah.
That's how the teachers be in front of you. You be like, I got it. I got out of there. I'm like, no, you didn't.
You did not.
No, you didn't.
We're like, yo, smooth, boy, smooth.
I got up out of there. Dog ate my homework.
Yeah, it's like that ain't it. I feel bad for kids whose dogs actually do eat their homework, and it's like you can't use that excuse anymore.
You can't use it.
So we can get straight into it. We got 3 movies on the docket. We'll save the last movie, which is Avatar 2, which you saw. The first movie that's up is A Man Named Otto. And
Starring who?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, is that the one where he's like, you're not supposed to park the brown trucks here? And I'm not saying that to be racist or something.
Yes. So this movie is about Tom Hanks, who plays a man named Otto, who lives in like a newly developed like condominium type area, but he has a home there that he's had for quite some time and refuses to sell his home. He's a bit of a curmudgeon.
I did see that. So it gave me feels, not to interject, but it gave me feels of like The Terminal meets Up.
Like Up, Old Man Up?
Yes.
Or like Disney Up?
Yes.
I feel like you're saying that because you don't like The Terminal. I feel like I'm one of the only people that do really
The Terminal.
I really like The
Terminal
Terminal.
was a dope movie.
There's a lot of people that hate that movie.
Like
They're just like,
know
oh,
good movies.
Tom Hanks made The Terminal. Like, let's not forget. I'm like, I thoroughly enjoyed The Terminal. Like, I thought it was really good.
I don't like shellfish.
And
I can't eat it.
but it's like the thing about The Terminal is like it brings the heart, and it's like that's what Tom Hanks does. And it's like if you watch the trailers for this movie, you won't really know what this movie is about. Because, like, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that this is the route that we were going with this movie. And so this movie is about a man named Otto. He lives in this area. He's a bit of a curmudgeon, and he's pretty mean and nasty to his neighbors.
Okay.
But, like, you come... I'm trying to think like how I could do this, but not spoilery.
Please don't, because it's sounding interesting now.
The movie is really interesting, and it is really good. Like, I was very... It's also...
No. I'm not letting you back out of this. Explain the movie.
I'm going to get to it.
Without ruining the movie.
It's an in the feels movie.
Okay.
So the thing is he's a bit of a curmudgeon neighbor, but then he has this new group of neighbors that move in, which is a young Hispanic family. They have a wife, or it's the mother, the father, and they have 2 young girls.
Okay.
And this new family like kind of adds like some sort of spice that makes him, I don't want to say like, it softens him like quite a bit. Okay. And it's like you starting to wonder like, why does it soften him quite a bit? And one of the things that they don't show you in this trailer is that Tom Hanks is in the process of committing suicide in the beginning of this movie until this family accidentally shows up and interrupts him from doing it. So like, it's dark, bro. It's dark. But like
Bro, why not just sell your house and go somewhere else?
There's a reason for that, and there's a reason for a lot of things. This movie is extremely, extremely well written.
Okay.
All of the
Does
characters.
Does he have anything to do with producing or directing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. It is extremely well written, and I'm not going to sit here and say this is one of Tom Hanks' best performances, because it's not like Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks. Like, he's on like the Mount Rushmore of like some of the greatest actors like of all time. But for him to do like a smaller movie like this is kind of like a little bit out of character for him, but it was very, very well done. It's definitely an emotional ride. Like, you come to fall in love with the other people in the neighborhood. This movie is also like a very contained movie, where it's like it's really just in this neighborhood. Like, we're not going like all over the place or whatever. So like you get to start to see like his day to day and like why he is the way he is about the certain things that he does.
Okay. Mark Foster, by the way, is the director.
Who?
Mark Foster.
Good.
Forster.
Good to know.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very sweet movie. Like I said, it's also very emotional. I had a tough time ranking this movie on like where it goes in the nasty scale.
Length?
It's pretty short. I want to say it's an hour 50 minutes, maybe like it's like an hour 40.
Appreciate it, Tom.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't too long, and it's like you don't stay in it for too long either. I feel like if I talk about any of the actual movie anymore, it gives like a lot of spoilers.
Okay.
And like this movie is best digested when you're learning stuff the same time the movie is learning stuff
in real time.
It's for such a dark premise. It's a very, very funny movie, like, as well. Like, there's a lot of time, like, mind you, I went to see this the day it came out, so I saw it like it was like Thursday morning. I didn't realize that Thursday is Seniors Day as well. So like my theater is full.
That's hilarious.
It's full of seniors, and they are eating this movie right up. Like, I'm laughing, they're dying. I'm tearing up and crying, they're bawling.
Oh,
so like I was just like
this is their life.
I was like, this movie hit this note, and I was like, as someone who's still kind of going through like a grieving process and like all this other stuff, like my emotions are pretty like raw. Like I was thinking, like I was like, is this just me that's getting this? And I'm like, nope, everybody in here is feeling.
I'm not the only sensitive cargo running around.
Like, right. And I was just like, what? And like I thought that like they all got up and I thought they were gonna start clapping, but they were just all just looked at each other and like, it was really good, huh? Oh, really good. Yeah, man, like, oh, can't go wrong with Tom Hanks. And I was like, can't go wrong with Tom Hanks is like the best way to describe this movie, because it's like, can't go wrong. It's like, I don't know. But I had a tough time ranking this movie because I was like, is it a full pricer? And I was like, it's not that, because it's not big enough, or like it doesn't go deep enough for it to be a full pricer. Okay. I was like, is it between a matinee and a $5? And I was like, yes. I was like, I don't think it's a must see, and I don't even think it's a should see, but I don't think you'd mad if you saw this movie. Okay. Like, if you spent money and you saw this, you'd be like, oh, like, that was pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't waste your time at all.
This or The Terminal?
I think I gotta go with this movie. I think it's better than The Terminal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So like, I think that this movie eventually falls on matinee. I think it goes right on matinee prices, where it's just like, oh, this wasn't too bad. I don't know if it's a date movie or nothing like that, but it's like, I know like this week, for instance, like, you know, like I've had some time and I'm like, oh, like, is there any movies out? And it's like, you know, we've already seen Avatar. We've seen like all the big stuff that's supposed to come out. So it's like, if I hadn't seen that and I'd be like, I guess we could go see this Man Named Otto movie, I think you'd be pretty pleased with the product that you get from it.
Okay. I like it.
I think it's a great way to start off the new year. I was like, all right, I haven't seen it. So far, so good. Not a bad movie yet.
Okay. All right. So I was currently sitting in the theater waiting for Avatar to start. I did go see it in 3D. Mm-hmm. Great recommendation, because this 3D was out of control. It's been a while since I tried to grab something in my face.
I was like, yo, them flies and whatnot. I was like, yo,
it was just like, whoa, like warning. But as I'm in the theater waiting, Joel sends me a text and it just says, Megan, fire emoji. And I was just like, question mark? He was like, Megan. I'm like, the Stallion? He's like, no, the movie. I'm like, oh, do tell. And he was like, I will talk to you about it. So we are now here. Tell me about Megan.
So Megan is probably like the first big budget movie that's come out so far, even though like this movie came out and it's only got a $12 million budget, which is not very much to make a movie. Wow. It is already fastly approaching the $200 million box office, which is like, we're getting some Megan sequels, just like in case you guys are wondering. If you were to judge it by the trailers and all the things like that, like Megan is essentially like the new Chucky.
Okay.
And but I think And like that's kind of like how they marketed the movie. I think the movie is bigger, better, and deeper than it just being the new Chucky.
Okay.
So the movie, I'm trying to think. There's stars. It's a young actress, so like she's not really anybody. But like the other big actress is the girl from Get Out, his girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you don't gotta get into it. She's not that big of an actor. Where you need to know her name.
No, but I was just gonna look up the cast for you. Go ahead.
There's nobody really in it that like you would know like that. Like it's a pretty smaller movie like that.
Okay.
But this young girl, it goes on a ski trip with her parents and winds up getting into a horrible car accident, and her parents die, which she then is left in the care of her younger aunt. And
Not
like
lying about this cast.
I was trying to tell you. I was like, it's not like that. Like there are a lot of people you've been like, I think I might have seen them in something. Actually, I think it's somebody else, but it's nobody big.
Maybe seen him in a grocery store.
But now this girl is placed in the care of her aunt. Her aunt works for almost like the big Hasbro type company.
Okay.
And she's having a hard time bonding with her niece because like it's traumatic for the both of them. Like like she doesn't know how to talk to her about losing her sister. She's having a hard time trying to get on without her parents or whatever. She finds out or realizes that her aunt works for this toy company, so like they start to bond over the fact that like they work for there. At the same time, the aunt is trying to develop like this new the new big toy, and she creates Megan, which is essentially, I guess you could say it's like the Chucky. She basically created Ultron. That's what she really created. Like she created like this thing where it's like it learns,
Jarvis
it talks.
lives.
It's like it learns, it talks, it can express emotion.
Oh, no.
It does facial recognition, so it'll know so the pitch of it is like this is the toy to end all toys. Like after you get this toy, you don't need any other toys because you have Megan, who's like essentially like a companion.
Right.
And like I'm telling you that like because it has access to the internet, like it'd be like, oh, like I can tell by your facial expressions that you're experiencing doubt. So it's like, and if you're experiencing doubt, this is the best way to counteract it. So it's like you essentially are replacing the parent in the situation because it's like you don't need to parent your kids because Megan's already parenting your kid for you. This movie was super fun. It was super dope. And like it plays itself, like I said, like a Chucky, where it's like it seems like more of a horror movie. It's not very gory or anything like that. There are some deaths that like it's an inevitable. There's a quote unquote evil doll in this movie. But like I think this is a full pricer, like through and through, like easy. I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
Me and my brother are dying laughing, and there's a lot of times where like the doll does something, and we just looked at each other like, you know how black people look at each other with like that. Boy, if that thing started moving like that, boy, there was a lot of like,
I don't need a warning.
There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of people in our theater that was like, the doll would do something like, oh hell no. There's a lot of that. Like,
Bro, I would have opened up the front and be like, nah, you can take it back. Nah, you can take it back.
But the thing is, she made it, so it's like she's working with the prototype or whatever. Oh man, like. Whatever these sequels are, sign me up for these Megan sequels because like this movie is ridiculous. But I was in all the way through. Go see Megan, full price it. It's well worth it. Like it's like I said, it plays itself or it sells you on the fact that it's going to be like a Chucky movie, but it's much deeper, and it's like a deeper movie about like just grieving and like things like that. And it's like, wow, like whoever they played up the Chucky aspect of it because they want people to go see this movie. But I think the people that made it knew it was more than that, and they were just like, just put all that stuff out so people will come see it, and then they'll realize that this is an actual good movie.
Gotcha.
And it's like now that we're set up, is like I'm ready for these Megan sequels.
Okay. All right. That's what's up.
2023, starting off right.
Okay.
I haven't had a miss yet.
I think that's the text you sent me. It was like, this is a good way to start off the year.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, I haven't seen a shitty movie yet.
That's what's up.
There's no Jurassic Worlds or Morbiuses or Legends of Hank's Paws of Fury yet.
No Dunes.
I will say this, and I don't know how much we have to delve into this, how much time, but it's like watching Puss in Boots, The Whale, and A Man Named Otto, like three movies like in a row. They were really good movies, but I was like, wow, these movies are really centered. Whoa, now that I think about it, Megan too, really centered around like death or dying, and they're different aspects of it. And I was like, is this what 2023 is gonna be? Is like, if these are movies that we're gonna get? Is like us being like obsessed with living our last moments or things that because then you gotta think about it, like Ant-Man also looks like it's gonna be like that type of movie. Creed looks like another movie.
This whole new phase is the phase of what?
Grieving and loss,
yes,
and stuff like that. But it's just like, is that what 2023 is gonna be? Or like they just gonna keep hitting that emotional beat? For me, is like trying to figure out how to get over loss and whatnot.
I won't go to the movies. I'll put them all on the docket for 24.
I think you have to see Megan. I think Megan is a must see raisin movie.
Okay. All right, I like when you call them must-see raisin movie.
I know you have trouble going to the theaters. Mm-hmm. I think Megan can be viewed at home to help you, as long as you see the movie. Like that's all that matters. Okay. I don't think it needs all that type of stuff. But I'm just saying, like for you specifically, because I know how hard it is to get you out the house and get into a movie theater. I'm just saying.
I'm outside, but I'm not outside.
No, you're not. Maybe you should take a wife to go see it. We'll go see a movie together. Me and you guys can laugh and stuff like that together.
Megan, we're gonna laugh at Megan?
Oh, I think you will absolutely laugh at Megan.
Okay. I'm to it.
So, the last movie. Yes. I know that I had already seen it.
Yes.
I saw it twice.
Yes.
Before you saw it once.
Yes.
Avatar 2.
Yes.
It was a big movie from last year.
Yes.
Let's get the raisin thoughts on it, man.
Trash.
Damn.
Yo, this movie is so... I'm lying.
I was letting you go.
No. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Was it a raisin movie, like I said?
It was definitely a raisin movie. It was several times, because I took the whole family.
I know you did.
There were
and
several times,
certain things happen, you just looked at your kids.
Several times when it was part of the movie, and I just look over and be like, oh, you okay? They're still watching? Okay. All right. Then it was just like a couple times where Lulu looked at me and was just like, I'm like, all right, don't be looking at me like that. This little dude is wild. I'm not supposed to parent right now. I'm not supposed to. You are overly parenting. Like, are you serious? Do you see what this little dude is doing? He's burning the cat's tail right now. That's not what happened in the movie. I'm just saying.
But I mean, we're past the point now. Like, I didn't get to talk about the spoilers or anything like that the first time, so we can get very spoilery into this now. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'll put at this point right here. Before
you unfocus the camera like just now.
Before we get into the unspoiler stuff, do you want to give like your take on like is it a full screen, like, you know, because that's your thing, right? Is like watch it on my phone, watch it on the TV, watch it in the theater, so on and so forth.
So the reason we ended up at the movies to see this is because wifey preemptively found 4 movie tickets laying around the house, and I was just like
physical tickets.
Yeah, like they're just like movie tickets. You can use it for any movie. You didn't know you could buy those?
Nah.
Yeah, people give them as gifts and stuff like that.
My mom's been doing
it for a year. But now they're like movie tickets.
Okay.
So she had 4. The 5 of us went. My oldest didn't go because he had to work. But so we went. I paid for my ticket and we went and seen the movie. But I was happy that we went and go see it in the movies and not at the crib. Not only just for the 3D experience, because the 3D experience was wild. Like, I haven't seen 3D like this. Like,
it's easily the best 3D movie I've ever seen.
The movie was sitting in my lap. I'm like, what's right? I'm like, a fan. I was like, not the bro hole. But what movie was that from?
I don't know. Just go for it. Just keep going.
Right. So, it was super enjoyable. If I had the choice of watching it again, I would still go to the theaters, even if it wasn't 3D. It's
a spectacle movie.
Yes,
and it's a main part
about it.
Cinematic,
like, production of it. There were some things where I was just like, that looks a little cheesy, but.
It was like when they were still in the forest in the beginning. Like, you could tell them, like, did you guys reuse some of these things from the first movie?
Right.
There's a lot of that, but like, once they get to the water, bro.
Right.
It's like, I felt like Sebastian, like under that sea.
Yes. I want to give a good emphasis to Zoe Saldana, because
I feel like she wasn't in the movie like that though.
Yeah, but when she was,
thorough.
She was.
I told you, bro.
Yo, listen, are we going spoilers?
We full spoilers.
Because I don't want to jump straight to the best spoiler.
You said not only theater but 3D. Like, if you're gonna see it, go see it.
Yeah, go see it 3D, definitely, for sure. It's a
spoiler from here on out.
So we know that
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're stuck here with us in the spoiler zone.
Mess it up.
Time for the spoiler zone. Sorry.
Wow. How long you been holding on to that for?
Just right now.
Just right?
Yeah, the Tom Cruise just took over my spirit.
I love it. But, so yeah, just a quick recap there. in the forest. They're chilling, having a great time. They built a family. Sully is now like the head chief of the tribe, and they reincarnate the old chief and his whole team that they had killed in the first movie, and they basically like stored their subconscious and their memories and everything like that, and inputted them into avatars that they grew like over the span of a year. No, over the span of like 10 years.
It was like a while. It was
yeah, because his kids are older.
Yeah,
like,
so
they're
it was
like
like
teenagers.
it was,
So it had to been like 10, 15 years. They're growing these avatars and mapping out how they're gonna return, and then when they finally do, they like this is scorched earth on the forest.
Yeah, they went crazy.
Yes, and Sully comes to the decision where they say the only way to protect everyone here is for us to leave, which was crazy because you're gonna leave your hood to protect them, but then come to my hood and jack it all up, which is basically what happens. So they go to the water and they find a way to track them. It's kind of like this joint is dumb. I don't want to say it was dumb, but I think that part of the story was a little weak.
I think I said it in my review. It's like, this isn't the best written movie,
Right?
Like in any sense of the word. Like, like a lot of things happen for convenience sake, and it's
Right.
like, hey, listen, we need to get to the movie is more spectacle than anything else,
Right.
But
So
it's like
one of the first things you learn growing up in the hood is like, if you do something illegal and you go on the run, you do not call home.
You don't go home.
You don't go home. You don't call home, because now they know where you are and where you're hiding. First thing Sully did when he went on the run is he called home. One of the kids got injured, and he called the homies, and they came in on the chopper, and they tracked the chopper, and now they know where you are in the water country, and then it becomes all out war, which is kind of like, I don't want to say mimicky of the first one, but this is what you get to. They're trying to, except before they were trying to take over the Avatar's area. This time they're just trying to kill Sully. They're trying to get
it's like
Sully.
their main mission.
Their main mission is to kidnap him, well, capture him, kill him, get him for intel, whatever it was. But their main goal is to get him. And the sergeant, who has been
Whatever his name is.
yeah, has been reincarnated. He's so fixated because he has the thoughts of the prior gentleman that he doesn't even care about everything else. He's just, at all costs, he wants to get to Sully. And through all that, there's a number of different like battle scenes, casualties, grief, loss. It was excellent. But like I said,
Did it get you?
yeah. Oh, did it choke me up?
Yeah.
Nah, it didn't choke me. It didn't choke me. It grabbed my throat, and I was just like, yo, come on, man. It didn't Denzel Washington, he got game me. It wasn't just like,
I thought when Shinari got bodied, it was gonna get you.
yo, that was the point that almost got to me. That's the point that almost got to me, especially when I saw how Zoe responded. And I looked at Lou, like she didn't see me looking. When I looked at her, and she was just like, I was like, oh.
Which that whole scene is just messy in general, because it's like, we're gonna escape, but then we're not gonna escape, but then we're gonna go back, but then we're gonna get captured.
Right.
And it was a whole lot of this.
Souls don't leave people behind. All right, then you're all gonna get bodied.
Tell that to Spider.
Right. Oh.
Y'all left that brother behind for dumb long.
The controlled informant that's still cool with y'all. The controlled informant that's
We're gonna
still
get into
cool
him.
with
We're gonna
y'all.
get into Spider, him being a sucker, but we're gonna get to that.
Right.
But like, I mean, I don't know if you want to like, because I feel like this isn't the Jake Sully movie though. And it really is like the second son.
It's about the kids.
It's the second son.
About the kids, yes.
And like, I feel like that's what we're going for. Is like, I'm pretty sure they're tired of Sam Worthington or whatever.
Yeah, he's the
And it's
Bart,
like,
Bart Simpson of the family.
Right.
He's the Bart Simpson of the family. He goes around getting in trouble. His dad tells him not to do something. He says, okay, it won't happen again. And then it happens again. And he doesn't learn his lesson until eventually, remember, these are spoilers, until eventually his brother gets murked. And even after that, he still does not listen.
I feel like he's still about to not listen.
Right, he still does not listen. It's just this time you didn't listen and it worked out. Like, but every other time it did not, and it cost you your brother's life.
I think like we're supposed to feel bad for him for like a lot of stuff, but a lot of the time, like I don't feel that way. Like I do feel like it is like
I feel like even the connection he had to the whale was not even a true connection, because like the whale did what he did because he lost his mom to the humans, and he staged a revenge tour, and it just didn't go right. This little dude is causing people harm and grief because you are just doing dumb stuff because you thrill chasing, you want to be popular, you want to be noticed. Like
you also just don't know how to deliver information.
right.
That's like my thing is like
think nothing through.
He's such a teenager like in that aspect where it's like they're like, well, no one understands me. It's like you also don't communicate properly.
Right.
Where it's just like, you know, I mean the first big scene or the first big thing that does is like he discovers the new army navy people like are around.
No, not even that. When they're staging an attack on the train, and him and his brother are supposed to just be scouting, he goes, "No, let's get in there."
No, but
and
like,
he almost gets his brother killed.
That's 100% him being not correct in the situation.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like the one where he discovers them, it's like if he would have delivered the information like in a different way or been like a lot smarter about it, it wouldn't have been such a, because like that is a big deal. Like you just discovered these people that aren't real Navy that are out here, but it's like because he does it in the way he does it, people wind up getting kidnapped, and it like sets them all off on this thing because he doesn't know how to communicate properly. Also doesn't know when to get out of things. Like, yo, when's the time to leave? Is like, hey, I scoped this ain't right. I gotta go let some people know. I know I wasn't supposed to be here.
Right.
But like, you know, at the end of the day, I made make the smart decision after you make your dumb decision.
Yeah, man, you keep bringing your little sister with you. And worse,
You put Nala in there. Exactly. Yo, this chair is not that sturdy.
Deliberately disobeyed me. I love it. I love it.
Not hit me in this chair because I feel
the
like
new chair ain't it. The new chair ain't it.
That's not.
Yo, I like how sturdy you was. Like we ain't gonna try again. You trying to test to see if the chair.
Right. Not because like if I fall, I'm leaving. I'm like, you know right now.
No, you gonna finish the pot from now?
No, I'm leaving.
It's gonna be Joel. Like it's a full pricer.
First of all, they're gonna see one ACG in the air, and then they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" There's a lot of that.
But yeah. So the older brother gets bodied.
Yeah.
They have this crazy scene where like the ship is sinking, and my two favorite parts, of course, it comes from the parents, right? Because the kids was wilding the whole time. The kids was, you know how
Not
I feel.
whatchamacallit,
You know how I feel about the kids.
The weird daughter, was it wilding? Or like
So
even
because
the
you
younger
let the
daughter?
little girl tell you, let's go back in, and you was like, all right, cool, and then got her bagged again. She's like, I'm cuffed again. She's like,
What My theater, both times I saw this movie, died at that line.
yes.
I was like,
yes.
damn, you guys really like this character.
Right. But one like when Sully's talking to Zoe and he's just like, yo, I know we're gonna have time to grieve our son, but I need you to be strong right now. And how she just quickly just turns the tears off and she's just like, I'm in straight war mode. Fam, I didn't even know she had that many arrows left.
There is apparently, according to this movie, there is nothing on any planet that's stronger than one of this bitch's arrows.
Yes.
Because they go through everything, and I'm like, yo, how strong is there?
Yo,
whap,
listen,
whap. Like they're going through like
when she
machines.
Reused one and pulled it out of homie, and then there was an arrow in the dude, and she grabbed it. She didn't even pull it out.
Yeah.
She just while it's still in him and shot it through him into the. I was like, oh no, she's on another level right now. When she did that, Lulu was like, oh, the same arrow. I was like, yes, babe, the same arrow. Not bad. And then of course, the other scene is like when he's finally gets his family away because they hold Spider hostage, and he's like, hey, listen, I'm just going to keep coming for you. I'm going to keep looking for you. And eventually it's going to lead to me killing your whole family. So what are we going to do? So he turns around and is like, let's get on with it then.
And he proceeds to come at him like,
yo, man, that man took his blade and turned this way. Let's get on with it then. I was like, yes, get to it right now. We getting to it right now. We are getting to it right now.
They got it shaking.
They got it shaking. I was like, oh.
It was a pretty hard line and pretty hard delivery.
Yes, and then last but not least, Informant Spider is literally the worst character on the show.
He's definitely like
worst character in the movie. I'm sorry. So this dude,
you know, this is gonna come back too, like in these next 4 movies that they got.
That made part three.
Yeah.
Like.
So this is my thing too. Is this movie does a lot of this character just died because they drowned, and then be like actually
right.
For some reason, Navi can breathe for 10 minutes after they died, and then they come back to life. Because like that's what he does. Is like he finds them floating underneath the wreckage that he's been under for at least like 10 minutes, and then he pulls them up. They're like everybody does that. Like I was like, yo, does everybody whatchamacallit?
Right.
Like, do Navi just have like extra lungs or something like that?
I don't know. I thought it was whack though, but like so Spider's like the origin story of Spider is he ends up being the sergeant's son.
Yes.
And after he dies, they just put him like in NICU, and so like he's hanging around the people that are growing these avatars. He ends up being left on the planet.
Yeah, there's scientists that stay back.
They're scientists that stay
because
back.
they actually want to help the Na'vi.
Right. So he ends up with them, and he's in the NICU where like he sees people going in and out of the avatars, and he's hanging around the actual planet with Sully's kids, growing up with them. He would rather be an avatar than a real human. He doesn't know who his father is. Eventually, he does find out.
He does know the whole time.
He does know,
Yeah.
but he has never met him before.
Because he says the really weird line, like at one point in time, where like she's talking, like they're talking about like, oh, the one girl, they're like, who's her father? Who's her father? And he's like, sometimes it's not good to know where your father is.
Right.
And I was like, what the hell kind of line was that? I was like, what a weird ass line to say.
Right. So when he finally sees the avatar and they figure it out, he finds out that this is his dad reincarnated. They build this whack relationship, and then
It's like Stockholm syndrome almost.
right. So he tells him, the guy clearly tells him, because he has to wear a mask on the planet or else he can't breathe. He's like, put a tracker in his mask. So everywhere we go, and you go,
I'ma know where you go.
I know where you go. So he's literally taking this man around the freaking planet. They go to one water tribe that's not even a water tribe where Sully and them are, and they murk something, they burn something else down. He's translating like, my bad, I shouldn't have brought him here, fam. What did you think was gonna happen?
He's telling them like, tranquilo.
Right.
My house is on fire.
Calmate. You just shot my water horse, fam. Like, what is going on right
He was
now?
about to shoot some woman dead in the head too.
The queen. The
Really?
queen of
Like
their
a
little
Terminator?
town. Like, so, long story short, he's still riding along with these dudes. He's having these little fatherly moments. And
He also
then,
clearly wants to bang like the young weird daughter,
yes, definitely.
which is like a weird thing that's
Yes,
going on.
definitely. And then he has Sully's daughter captive, so Zoe grabs him and is like, I'll kill this boy right now, which she probably really wasn't, but she
wasn't.
She scratched his chest, and then all of a sudden he's just like, it's not my kid, and it's not even really my thoughts, but I feel connected, and he gives up Sully's daughter, and now the white kid's like, oh, maybe I do have a dad. They end up in a fight.
Maybe he's not so bad. You've literally watched this man commit genocide for like the last like
hour
week.
or two.
Whatever.
Forget about the last week. Just the last hour or two
Yeah.
was wild. So long
He literally
story
had
short,
your brother like at gunpoint and was like, I'll blow his brains out.
blow his brains out.
And you sat there and then in the thing. It's like, what are you doing?
Right. So long story short, this guy gets beat up by Sully. He's at the bottom of the ocean, about to die. This man's looking around trying to help find Sully, and finds this dude and freaking gives him air and saves him. And brings him up, and he's just like, oh, come with me, son. And he's like, rah, get off of me. Like, man, you just saved this man's life.
Yeah.
And you didn't even tell nobody that you saved his life.
Which would be a big thing,
You
right?
went back with the homies and be like, hey, listen, I couldn't find it in my heart to kill him. I'm not like you. I didn't leave him there. I did save him. He's trying to be out, so we need to prepare for when he comes back.
I would not have said that I saved him.
You don't save nothing.
I saw him.
I saw him
get out of the water.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
he literally
That's what I
says
would've
nothing.
said. He didn't say
literally
that
said
damn
nothing.
thing.
He acts like a kid, like I broke the vase, but if nobody notices, maybe the vase is
That
not
would be like if one of my brothers tried to like murk your whole family, and it's like you had like a whole in and out of them, and like you left them, and then it's like, ah man, but like I feel some sort of way, and then it's like I help him back to health, and then it's like I come to y'all and I don't be like, hey, I know my brother's trying to murk you, but it's like I just brought him back to health, so like he's gonna be around, like your
He's
family.
at the crib wrapping up.
Your family's safety is in question.
Yeah, man.
I walked by earlier and he was listening to 50 Cent for some reason, so like, I don't know what's going
That
on.
joke was terrible. Patiently waiting for it to explode.
What's different for me? Blood in my eyes, don't get knocked. It's like you might want to worry about this. Dude.
Yes. So I thought he was whack for that, man. And I hope he gets bodied in part 3.
And I hope they burn in hell. Did you hear what part 3 is about to
Time to Kill?
explore?
Say that again.
Did you hear what the Avatar 3s like they're supposed to be exploring?
The Sky People.
We're getting the Fire Na'vi, and apparently they're called the Ash People.
Come on now. All right. So this is so first you
Avatar's
steal the
becoming
name.
Avatar.
First you steal the name Avatar. Now you steal an Avatar. I'm all set.
You're saying
all
that
set.
you will definitely be there.
I'm all set.
Next
No,
year.
because you know what's going to happen. The youngest daughter is going to become the Avatar because she had all these special powers in the water. She's going to get.
Is this what
fully
we're doing? Are we
connected
making
with
predictions?
with the trees? And then when they get to the fire, she's going to be like, I can control the fire. Because she had that one moment where she controlled all the flowers and everything, and the other dudes, little Rico Suave with the curls, was looking at her like, yo, what's up with her? How she be able to?
Yeah.
Like
The water, they weren't Dominicans.
yeah, they was.
There was definitely Dominicans like in that water. That was crazy.
They was.
Then the daughter one didn't look like Chloe Bailey or whatever her name is. Yes. Because like that's what I thought it was the whole
She
time.
had that Little Mermaid face. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, I think she's gonna end up being an avatar and controlling all these powers from all the different nations, and it's gonna be whack.
Did you figure out the weird daughter's voice actor?
No.
Bro, shit, that is Susan Sarandon. Like, whatchamacallit?
Who's Susan Sarandon?
From Alien, Sigourney Weaver. Or Sigourney Weaver, I'm sorry. I know who
Sigourney Weaver is. I
did Susan Sarandon. I meant Sigourney Weaver.
Yes,
Sigourney Weaver is like, she plays the younger daughter too. And it's like, it's more apparent once you know that. And like, all you can do is you can hear it. It's like, yo, this is a 60-year-old woman like playing like a 12-year-old. Like, this is wild.
And I feel like one of the avatars is the voice of the dude from Fight movie, the one with Ice Cube in it. Him and his daughter's on the stage singing Big Sean.
Charlie
with you. Yes.
He is not. He's not one of them.
Okay. All right. It sounded like him.
Okay. But it's not, it's not one of them.
Okay.
But like, I was like, yo, this Sigourney Weaver,
and
for some reason playing this 15.
Is Vin Diesel in this movie?
So he's in the credits. I don't know who he's supposed to be. I think it's the same thing.
I thought I was tripping.
I think it's the same thing for Michelle Rodriguez's character. Like, I think they were both in the first Avatar. And it's like, I think those are part of like that weird evil Avatar crew. Like, they're supposed to be those guys. And it's like, for some reason, they're still getting casting credits even though they didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I think that's.
I knew for sure who the Water King was as soon as I saw his face. I didn't know his name.
They kind of gave him the face too.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, and I couldn't remember what last movie I seen him in.
He's literally the most racially ambiguous man like of all time because he's played like a Middle Eastern, he's played a Puerto Rican, he's played a Dominican.
Yes.
He's whatchamacallit. He's from Training Day, where he puts the gun in his mouth and he's like,
he is in Training Day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he was in Fear of the Walking Dead was like his other big thing. Like he was the dad in Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I didn't get into that one.
And then he was the Rock's brother in Hobbs and Shaw. But he's got like dreads in that movie too. I'm like, yo, this brother's played a Pacific Islander. He's played a Middle Eastern. He's played a Dominican. He's played a Puerto Rican. I'm like, yo, he's the most racially ambiguous man like of all time.
Yeah, that's out of control. That's out of control. Oh no, that's whose voice. That's who I was thinking of. My bad. That's the wrong guy. Yeah, I was thinking of him.
Okay.
Yeah, because he plays the little brother, right?
I don't know. I don't know who plays the kids in the movie.
No, because the only reason I kept seeing, because first I thought it was Jesse from
Breaking Bad.
Only because the little brother kept calling everybody the B word, and he kept saying it kind of like Jesse would say it. Like you got to kind of go back and watch it.
What do you mean he's saying the B word?
Like when he's like when he was arguing with the other water teenagers.
He is not saying bitch in that movie.
Yes, he is.
He is not.
Yes, he is.
I saw this movie twice. There's no way that that went past me that he's cursing in this movie.
Oh, it went past you. It went past you. Because when he said it, I was just like, he really sounds like
Want to make a dinner bet?
Nope.
Because I know that joint's on soap today, and I was like, we can't watch that. But so Avatar 2, it's worth going to see in 3D.
Yes, definitely.
I'm trying to think of like the next big movie that we got coming up. I think it is Ant-Man Quantumania. Is like the next big movie. So like I'm hoping that like we both go see that movie like when it comes out. Obviously there's gonna be like more smaller stuff.
It's Ant-Man, Cocaine Bear, and then Creed 3. Next 3 top movies.
All right.
You got Knock at the Cabin, but I don't count that as a big movie.
I can't wait to see it. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie with Batista. Like, this looks pretty fire. So, like, I'm looking forward to it.
I haven't even seen a preview for it. So, if I see a preview for it, maybe.
It's pretty intense.
Matter of fact, I think you did explain that one.
Where it's like, we have an important mission where there's like a little girl in the woods and stuff like that.
No.
We're going to watch that trailer, and I want you to be like, I feel like you're going to be like, oh, no. Oh, hell no. But with that being said, I guess we're going to move on to part 3. We're going to hit the playground because we got a couple like NFL playoff stuff or whatever. So make sure you stay tuned for part 3. If you did not see these movies, or if you did see these movies and you want to leave a comment, make sure that you do so. If there's other movies that we have not seen that we should see that are maybe on the streaming services that we just haven't had a chance to get to, make sure you leave them in the comments. Till then, see y'all in part 3.